So today I really wanted to address a couple of things, and I hope everybody is having a good weekend. Yeah, so I just want to, ask a few questions to our president, and hopefully I can get some sort of response from him, which is really hopeless. And I'll also give a quick update about what's happened since my visit to the Ivory Park Stadium and what has happened with the city of Joburg so far. But first, I just want to ask, I want to keep this video really short to about 5 minutes. But I want to ask our president, Mr. President, who do you work for? Who do you work for, Cyril Ramaphosa? Whose president are you? Who are you supposed to be protecting and representing? Because I've got a couple of things here that I really want to clear with you, Mr. President, to say we have all these problems in South Africa. Everybody understands and knows about these problems, but you refuse to address them. Every time you have an opportunity to address these problems, you have to find a way to go around the problem as opposed to attacking the problem directly and coming up with a solution. Let's start. I'm going to use crime as an acronym as I always do. So let's start with C, corruption. We've been watching the Madlenga Commission. We know exactly what is going on with the justice system. We know what is going on with our Metro Police. We know what is going on with South African Police Service. We know what is going on with the Hawks. We know what is going on with our criminal justice system. But you refuse to address those issues. You refuse to address and fire the people that are responsible for the corruption that is happening in our criminal justice system so that our citizens, your citizens, Mr. President, can be safe. Who do you work for, Mr. President? Who are you supposed to be representing? Who are you supposed to be protecting? You're supposed to be protecting the citizens. And the citizens are crying out to you on a daily basis about the crime levels that we experience in this country. But you refuse to address it. Number two, to be honest with you, Paul O'Sullivan walking out of the ad hoc committee, I don't blame the guy because the whole thing is a circus anyway. I've got respect for the Madlanga Commission because at least we're dealing with professionals who have a structured way of asking questions and addressing the witnesses that are there. But with the ad hoc committee, there's a few people that are asking the relevant questions, but most of the guys that are in there are just politicians trying to just get airtime from us. Number two, the R in crime as an acronym. Are we talking about the violation of our women and children and citizens and the robbery, the break-ins that we experience as citizens? If you don't stay in a secure estate, you stay in a freestanding house, I can guarantee you, I've stayed in a freestanding house before, and every time a dog barked or heard a noise, it was crazy. So South Africans live constantly in fear of being broken into, their cars being broken into, if they're walking to work or being robbed. This has been an ongoing situation in South Africa for the longest time. When do you get to address this, Mr. President? Who do you work for? You're supposed to be working hard to make sure that these systems are in place to make sure that your citizens are protected. It's your job. When you take that oath of office, it means that you're gonna put the citizens first. But at the moment, we all know that you're not doing that. So who do you work for? What is your purpose, Mr. President? Okay, let's go to the I in crime, immigration, or let's just call it illegal immigration. South Africans have been complaining about open borders. South Africans are complaining about the poor South Africans, especially, who have to compete to get healthcare, to compete to get education, compete to get jobs. I'm not talking about high paying, unique, special skills jobs. I'm talking about just normal jobs that we used to call them peace jobs. A job where you just go and do a couple of things and get 200 bucks for the day. South Africans are now competing with illegal immigrants that are in this country, taking those very small jobs and competing with the locals when it comes to free healthcare and education. South Africans have been talking about this for the longest time. When are you going to address this, Mr. President? At what point do you see and listen to the cries of South Africans and address these issues? Who do you work for, Mr. President? And then M, we'll talk about, I'm not going to say the word for some reason, but M is about 70 people in this country on a daily basis lose their lives. South Africans live under constant fear of losing their lives because when somebody breaks into your house, when somebody hijacks your car, there's a big chance that you are going to lose your life in that process. When you're a farmer and people break into your house, break into your farm, the chances are you're going to be tortured and terrorized and lose your life just for a robbery where somebody is coming to break into your house. Instead of breaking in and running away, they break in and torture you, withdraw money out of your account, they do all sorts of terrorism on you until you lose your life. At what point do you take this seriously, Mr. At what point, Mr. President, do you stand up and say, enough? I'm going to protect my citizens now. At what point do you stop looking away and finding excuses and just address the issues? We are under siege over here, Mr. President. The last one is extortion. As somebody who's been in business, especially the construction business, every time you are starting a project, you put your fence, you put your boards up, you're going to get approached by some syndicates who are pretending to be community members or chairpersons of some sort, and they want to extort money out of you. They're not looking for work, they're not looking for opportunities, they're looking to extract money out of you. I've spoken to a lot of people who have filling stations, restaurants. They get extorted on a daily basis, and not even by one gang, by multiple gangs offering protection. At what point do you address this? Do you have an intelligence department at SAPS that deals with this? Because watching the Madlanga Commission and looking at how close all these people that have worked in law enforcement, currently working in law enforcement on suspension or something, they all have very close relations with criminals. How is that? How do you allow that to happen? And if you're the president of this country and meant to protect the citizens, what are you doing about it, Mr. President? That's the question I'm asking today. Who do you work for? Those are the 5 questions I wanted to ask today. I hope I got this under 5 minutes. And when it comes to the Heartful Patrol Unit, we've made some serious progress. We have a meeting with the city of Joburg on Monday to iron out all the information about the bill of quantities that we're providing to the stadium, Ivory Park Stadium, and what is required to get it to full compliance. And number two, we've put forward an agreement that they have to go through with their legal, but we're going to do that in person. We're meeting them on Monday at Region A in Midrand, and we're going to go through the process and also work out the timelines, because it doesn't help having all these negotiations and then it takes another 6 months for somebody to sign a piece of paper. We need to agree on the terms and conditions and the timelines, because I want to get going on this Heartful Patrol Unit training. The sooner we get going, the sooner we can start building these communities from the ground up. So I'll give more updates after Monday. But until then, please subscribe to this channel. Like I said, this channel is all about finding solutions. We are in the process of securing a place in the form of the Ivory Park Stadium. Number two, training 100 young people in law enforcement. And three, patrolling the streets of Ivory Park and building the communities from the ground up with young people. Until then, stay safe.